man, why are they so horrified of InfoWars, Matt? I mean, they really are horrified.
Well, they were used to controlling the entire narrative.
Matt Bracken is our guest, enemiesforeignanddomestic.com, best-selling author, former Navy SEAL, anti-terrorism expert, really smart guy. He's been on hold the last 10 minutes while I played some clips of communists in Austin, basically saying they want to kill people. They need to kill people to bring in their utopia. And then a teacher in New Orleans just a few days ago with a fellow we've had on as a guest who goes around with a bicycle that he powers by pedaling with a big Jumbotron TV, putting up patriotic messages. And people didn't just donate so he can go around town doing that. The guy's been doing that in like 6-7 years. Great guy. So he told us this happened. I went and watched the footage. She's saying, no, I need to be killed for brainwashing. She's for free speech, but I'm brainwashing when I show you USA Today last week saying women wear hijabs to stand up to Trump for feminism. When they cut your genitals off, put hoods over your heads and you're slaves, you can't drive a car. And a man can rape you, and then you get executed for adultery. That's not brainwashing. I'm calling your brainwashing. Matt Bracken, watching and listening to those clips, what do you make of that?
Well, the people that get in the faces of people at these rallies, they're the useful idiots. You know, they're the grunts, the cannon fodder. I see that from that first clip where the guys with the hoods in a line along the sidewalk, somebody passed along a good, useful trick. It's an old hunter's trick where you just take a T-shirt and the neck becomes your eye slit. You tie the short sleeves behind your head. That way you've just got a T-shirt in your backpack and not a balaclava. So it looks better if you're stopped by the police. But the guy that was in the picture was such an idiot that his T-shirt was inside out and the little tag, you know, little made in China tag was over his nose.
Yes.
So really pretty funny. But yeah, these are just their function is just to continuously strike sparks, trying to light a conflagration. You know, they're hoping to provoke a patriot into pulling out a gun, something like that. That's their goal, is to, you know, create a flashpoint incident. But what I fear is going to happen is somebody on our side will be assassinated, and within, you know, weeks after that, I think that's when a civil war will break out into a kinetic phase, because as soon as, say, a figure from the new media is assassinated, then it's going to be an open season on mainstream media propagandists. And
that's right. And that's why, and then they say, oh, the president's called us the enemy when they're calling him the enemy. It's his fault. You know, Wolf Blitzer or whoever, God forbid, gets shot, Stephen Colbert, whatever. But if you expand on that, they're the ones calling for violence. They created the environment. They're the ones pushing for Trump to be killed. You know, this BuzzFeed thing comes out. They wanted the president dead. Now the Pentagon pulls security clearance of Trump White House aide, Adam S. Lovinger, a 12-year strategic affairs analyst with the Pentagon's Office of Net Assessment, has been on loan from the NSC since January when he was picked up for the position by then National Security Advisor Flynn. So they're getting rid of everybody that Flynn was involved in as well. I want to go to some phone calls now with Matt Bracken, but briefly, any other points you wanted to make?
Yeah, the swamp is winning. I think that, you know, drain the swamp was a great sentiment, and Trump came into the White House, you know, with the best of intentions. But the swamp is not just surrendering. You know, all the alligators and you know, vipers down in there,
pythons,
are fighting back, and it's not, you know, just even controlling the White House with a patriot shows how strong the deep state really is.
Well, sure, the president's not a dictator, despite the fact that the news is constantly calling him one. It's truly sickening. Let's go ahead and start taking some calls from John, Brendan, Jesse, Chris, Eileen, and many, many others. Let's go ahead and take a call from Jesse in Tennessee, the volunteer state. You're on the air.
The stars at night are big and bright.
Deep in the heart of Texas. Go ahead, brother.
Exactly. So we got Stephen Colbert on TV as one of these Pentagon late-night talk show hosts, and he's drudging up Putin. And before that was Jimmy Kimmel trying to play our heartstrings. What do you think about Jimmy Fallon broadcasting for a week from a petting zoo, claiming that he's got separation anxiety from Hillary?
Well, that sounds good. He's also running down our healthcare system. You know, he's got tens of millions of dollars and then claiming, his son has this heart condition, and so we all have to accept Obamacare. That's a screw job. That's going to bankrupt our health care. It's all just manipulating the public. I'm sad his child has a heart condition. It's just always playing on the heartstrings. I mean, they have free health care in Venezuela, but nobody can even get food. Same thing in Cuba.
It's always the self-image. They always go after your self-image. I think it's all they really have left, the late-night talk show hosts, and your reporters are outpacing the entire mainstream media. You've got Rob Dew and Millie out there. Millie is just running circles around these protesters. It's nuts.
She is. And look, that's why it's so critical that all of you, the listeners and viewers, spread the articles, the videos, financially support us, because we're the best there is right now. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. My crew's awesome. And we're trying hard, but we're not funded by George Soros or big corporate money. We're funded by you buying great products that everybody needs that are discounted right now during this fundraiser at InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. Yeah, what do you make of Colbert, who always wants everybody else banned off the, radio or TV if they make a, quote, homophobic statement, and then everything becomes homophobic, and you can't make a joke saying that somebody's butt boy, like he claimed Trump was Putin's minion. It was saying he's subservient to him, but Trump's not subservient to Putin from my research, Matt. I want to get your take on that. He's subservient to the globalists that want us to have conflict with Russia because Russia's in conflict with radical Islam.
Yeah, I look at incidents like Stephen Colbert doing his sort of like the Colbert scream, the primal scream. The globalists are feeling a lot of pain because they no longer control the narrative. And that is a source of tremendous anxiety for them. So I expect them to ratchet their humor up into more open calls for assassination, which will be like the Professor Raoul X, parallax view type of nudging the mentally unstable people towards acts of violence.
Sure, making it palatable, making it acceptable, making it what a hero does, like the guy from England that came here, grabbed a gun, tried to kill Trump, other events. Great point. Let's talk to a caller in the great state of Idaho. Let's talk to John. John, you're on the air.
How's it going? So I actually live in the Twin Falls area. I'm hearing a lot of the rhetoric of what's going on with the Chobani lawsuit. A lot of their talk shows in the area are basically ridiculing you and trying to paint a bad picture about InfoWars.
Well, yeah, what we saw here in Austin is a test of that. Can the media go in and manipulate a pool of people? This is a new modern test to then try to shut somebody down. But the word is that's not going to be too successful. But yeah, I've seen the local papers. I mean, they claim Chobani isn't even basically a Muslim. The owner of it, he never tried to bring anybody even though he admits he works with Soros to do it. So I mean, it's a big joke.
I'm a little concerned that you might have a hard time getting a fair jury that's not already been swayed.
Yep. Well, that's why folks need to support us, because we're not going to stop. People think this is a fight, and the enemy isn't going to strike back. They are.
Yeah. Well, and then also you guys, excuse me, Homeland making fun of you with their own version of a... Well,
yeah, they don't just make fun of me. They admit it's a character to me that has fake news, that plants fake stories, that has bots. And, of course, it's the government and the media that have the bots, not us. And that's why they're coming after us. Yeah, they've got all these TV shows, you name it. I appreciate your call. And I want to make it about me. I just want the audience to understand. We've been chosen as the case point to destroy. You put money behind us. You spread our articles and videos. You get around their bots trying to block us. You defeat them. This InfoWars cannot lose, though, as long as I don't give up and you don't give up. Because even if we fall like the Alamo, it'll be remember InfoWars, remember Alex Jones. But I think we're going to win. I mean, we're so strong. It's crazy. For every attack they throw against us, it's Newtonian physics. We just end up getting that much more support back. Matt Bracken, you want to comment on that?
I was about, you stole my thought. That's exactly right. It's like Paul Joseph Watson's new T-shirt. Conservatism is the new counterculture. These late night comedians, unless you're really one of the lobotomized uber lefties, it's like Soviet propaganda comedians making fun of Reagan. I mean, it just doesn't work. The more that they attack you, the stronger that you get. They think that they're applying their leverage against you, but it's sort of like a judo move. The leverage is strengthening you.
well, I don't want to get into myself, but they've turned. I mean, I was already an icon with the listeners. I'm not bragging; it's a dangerous position. But they've really. I've talked to high-level folks. They even admit it now in congressional hearings, publicly, but also privately. They say they're scared of InfoWars, and they say they're scared of our audience and the focal point and our guests. So they're scared of you. They're scared of Ron Paul. You know, they say we're fake news and internal Google documents because Ron Paul came on. They say, oh, he's not credible. No, he is credible with the left as well. So it's all doublespeak. But man, why are they so horrified of InfoWars, Matt? I mean, they really are horrified.
Well, they were used to controlling the entire narrative, at least from the Second World War, when we were thoroughly infiltrated by communists. They turned Senator McCarthy into, an evil devil, and succeeded at it because they ran the entire news media, except 99% of it. Newton. National Review, which was read by like 0.002 people. Otherwise, it was CBS, NBC, ABC. That was it. And now they've got an alternate new media.
For the first time, they've got a fight on their hands.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.